Hello, guys. How are you? This is Maggie, your fearless marketing coach. I'm so happy to be here with you. Today, we are going to speak about quite important topic for entrepreneurs joining the online world, and this is about putting your face behind your brand. For many, especially female entrepreneurs, this is the topic that creates a lot of fears and a lot of stress. And I would like to cover a couple of subtopic related to that, because what is what is interesting is that when you are in your late 40s, early 50s, we are from the generation that really needed to learn the online activities from ground zero. We didn't grow up with this. We had to learn the computers, and we had to learn the internet, and we had to learn how to set up Facebook Live, etc. We are not native to this technology, while our children already who know the world with only they know the world with internet, they interact completely differently to the technology, and especially to things like visibility online. Because for them, for instance, having simple conversation on the mobile phone is just a double opportunity. Either you will have a FaceTime, and you will be talking. Jesus, it's difficult for me to show it, but either you are holding your phone like this, or you are holding the phone like this, which is more natural for us. And going full-fledged online means, for our generation, also learning a lot of this kind of things that in a minute they will become natural, but once we are learning them, they are a little bit, stress creating, I would say. There are three bullet points that I have prepared for today, related to the topic putting your face behind your brand. The first one is a personal brand. The second one is authenticity behind the personal brand. The third one is fear of the technology. And the fourth one, probably the biggest one, is the judgment. Because what is happening really? I mean, the decision to go online in many cases mean going live. And going live meaning showing your face with all the imperfection which might be related to it. So you are showing your face as it is, without any any photoshopping. You are showing your hair as it is, and you might have a bad hair, or you might need I don't know, colorization of the hair, or maybe cutting of the hair. Many women are not, happy with their hair. For people who are wearing glasses like me, this is another layer of stress, as the glasses interact with lighting. So yes, you need to put some lighting, professional or semi-professional lighting, when you are shooting live, for instance. And wearing the glasses, it means that you need to remember how to move or not to move your head, so that you don't have this. Because otherwise, I have a beautiful round circle lamp, but I have to be extremely careful to not to have this lamp image in my glasses. Speaking about authenticity, well, this is big topic, because on one side we'd like to come across authentic, and we'd like to come across with our full full personality, natural personality. On the other hand, we observe internet and we watch, different people, with some entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs. We are more attracted and more magnetized to their personalities, and sometimes we try to be like them, but for whatever reason it doesn't work exactly the same, and we start to put some judgments in our minds, and we believe that maybe our natural look or natural way of expressing ourselves is simply wrong, and it should be enhanced by some other aids. It could be different setup, or different clothing, or different makeup, or different hairstyle, or even different behavior, and then you are just losing who you are really, and you are losing your naturality, if that's the word. uh, well, I've been there, and I was trying to follow some guidance, how to behave in front of the camera, for instance, and how to shoot the videos. And honestly, I think I have found my own way. uh, I stopped really to put really hard makeup. Um, the downside of it is that I can see now that part of my forehead is already um, blinking, and I should put some powder on it, or this parts of the face, and maybe a little bit on the nose. But this is something that, especially when you are recording, not shooting live, you can improve. I really love to wear my normal clothes. No, I don't put any special clothes when I'm shooting videos or going live. This is my normal everyday blouse. One day I have this blouse, another day I have another one. Um, I used to wear maybe a little bit more formal clothing, shirts and cardigans, and sometimes jackets. Um, but honestly, I feel more comfortable, more casual, in the thing, in the clothing, which is completely, yeah, casual, just casual. So this is what I appreciate, and I think that everybody should find her own combination, so that it really shows who you are, and it enhances your natural style and natural personality. Um, because judgment, this is the external um, force. This is something that we believe that people think of us, which not always is true. And we believe that we should behave like this, or we should be speaking like somebody else. Um, this is really unhealthy, and in many cases, these beliefs are really killing us. They are killing our authenticity. They are killing our initiative. They are killing who we are, and they are killing the energy, because the true nature and the true aligned action, this is what leads us to the success, and leads us to the specific events that the universe puts on our way, on our path. When we have this big desire, usually what happens is that a minute after, sometimes half day after, when the emotions are going down, when the energy is going a little bit down, then you start hearing a little voice inside you, sometimes inside your head, sometimes in different parts of the body, that this desire, it's not so fantastic, and maybe you could stop thinking about that, and maybe you can just basically talk yourself out of it. And in many cases it happens like that, that after some time we believe that maybe we are not that brave, and maybe we are not so fantastic, and maybe the idea we came up with is not so amazing like we thought in the first glance. And actually this is very, very difficult and dangerous process. Difficult for us internally because we need to deal with the self-talk. Dangerous, well, also internally, but this is the kind of a self-talk that really deprives us from our dreams. The reason for that is are actually built-in survival mechanisms that live in our brain. You know that we have a brain which consists of at least two parts. Um, these parts are like brain in a brain. If I illustrate this with my hands, you have the very old part of the brain. We call it lizard brain. This brain is holding the survival mechanism, the fight and flight reflexes. And on top of that, we have a kind of a new brain, much more complex, much more modern in a way, that contains, for instance, that contains all of the emotions, all of the feelings, all the rational and emotional parts. So what happens is that communication between these two parts of the brain, I have here my dog, um, are happening in a way that we feel specific emotions in our modern part of the brain, and we feel this desire to create something, to have something, to follow specific path. However, our old brain, the lizard brain, which is really calculating the the calorie consumption, is trying to take us from any activity that will be can put us to the danger to consume too many calories. Because if we consume calories, when we consume calories, we actually don't let our brain to have um, what's the name for that? A surplus, a container of the calories that could be used for fight, for flight, um, because our brain, you know, needs this specific amount of calories just in case to protect us for surviving. And since our lizard brain doesn't know how many calories we are going to consume to, for instance, create this fantastic book or to develop this fantastic offer, all the way that it is trying to withdraw us or withhold us from this concept. And actually, our job is to listen to every fear, every self-doubt that is happening, note it down, and really look into it, because every individual uncertainty or fear is a signal about a specific part of your inner self that requires work. Sometimes it is such a big topic like self-worth, like giving value to the world. I will be speaking maybe broader about this topic later on this week. Um, but yeah, there are topics like this, and the minute you start thinking to yourself and really speaking to yourself internally that you have absolutely nothing worth to share to the world, or people will not be listening because there is no substance in what you say, or you have never convinced anyone into anything, this is self-destructive talk. It is obviously not true. First of all, it is not true, and you need to know that you already have everything you need to have to bring value to the world. Um, how to bring this value and how to break the unhelpful beliefs, I will be talking in my next video. But for now, I think just remember that this is really destructive. It doesn't lead you anywhere. And the role of your ego or the internal talk is really just to make you stop and put you back to the where you were, basically, to your former place, so that you settle and you are happy with what is happening with you right now. Um, Maybe last thing about feeling ready, because we take the liberty recently. We take the liberty to respond to many activities which are happening around us, and we are invited to participate in that, or sometimes we feel challenged to participate or to take it. We say that, well, right now we are not ready and we need to wait until we will be ready. Well, the bad news is that you are never ready for such a challenge. You are never 100% ready. There is always this little amount of being not ready and being not certain and not knowing how. And the beauty of the progress and the place where really big shifts happen are when you decide to act not knowing how. And as crazy as it may sound, this is the biggest, the grandest, the most powerful action step, actually, action step that you can secure for your growth. Why? Well, because on one side, you are having this desire, this big vision, and you are sending the message to the universe that you are ready to receive. You start to imagine how it would be having that or being there and experiencing whatever you desire to experience. And what happens is the world is adjusting or readjusting itself to follow, basically to follow your desire. Your way of saying thank you for this realignment is taking aligned steps and trusting that the road or the way to the next steps will be revealed to you accordingly. I have recently heard this expression that really fits here, is that when you are driving a car in the fog or at night, you only see very specific distance in front of you and you don't see anything else on the horizon. but you still move forward and you trust that with every meter you are moving, the next meter will be revealed, and so it happens. And this is exactly the way the universe is collaborating or working with us. We take one step forward, and the universe is showing us another step and another one. So, just to conclude today, I think that you will never be ready. And this is not only my opinion. The beauty is to act when you are not ready, when you are scared, um, when you are breaking your fears and you are acting despite of fears. Then the prize is coming not only much faster, but first of all, the prize is coming for sure. When you refrain from action, you are actually putting yourself far away from your desire, and it will be much more difficult to put yourself on the track again and again. So fears and dreams are connected like this, and they are always appearing together. Our role is to identify the fears, identify the root of these fears, and start working despite of the fears, but also to do the inner work, to see how destructive these fears could be and what we can do to unplug them from us. So I hope you will stay with me. Right now, I would like to conclude this little video in this moment. I think we had enough for today. So thanks for being with me. If you like this material, just give it like or share it with your fellow entrepreneurs that might need this kind of sharing. Thanks a lot and talk to you soon, guys. Bye.